All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It was a short break, and as promised, we bring you game number two right now between Relics and Sage Gaming. This is Bebo, by the way. Joining me is our producers, Zen Bakuto, as well as Mr. Worldwide. Both of them very, very awesome producers, as you can see here. Wow, we are going into Towers of Doom. Sage Gaming, they decided the battleground, and it's going to be Towers of Doom. Relics, they have the first pick and ban. They ban out the Lost Vikings first hand. But we also have Sage Gaming going for the respawn here on the Toronto ban. It's a kill thus, as well as a Rainer ETC getting picked up by Sage Gaming. We also see Feldstedt and Muradin. Now, what this means, Jaina is still up for grabs, probably going to get banned up here. Very clear that Kilthus is paradise because he does have the crowd control against a Jaina. Jaina, you really need a good flank and very hard to play Jaina these days. But Feldstedt is really what Relics wants to sell today. The idea that Feldstedt is a great pick, and it did not work out for them in the first game. But we'll see how this is going to work out in the second game. Muradin getting picked up, really, really good pick there. I mean, really just nothing much to say. They want to make sure that Sage don't have the Muradin, but they already have the Kilthus. And even if the sites have swapped in terms of the draft, the heroes kind of remain the same. This is only made possible because Kilthus did switch sites to Relic, still an instant first pick material. But Sage Gaming, they just prioritized the Rainer ETC. They had Kilthus, Rainer ETC in the first half of the draft just now, but here they got the Rainer ETC and a ban on Morales. Relics, I think they're going to ban a Jaina. If Jaina goes to Sage Gaming, it is going to be really good for them. Rainer ETC. But this is Towers of Doom. We're talking about consistent rotation, really, really great rotation, and maybe even split push. Both are still very, very good strategy. Team fights, yeah. Important when the altars spawn, but gotta be very careful about team fights in this one. You don't want to get so obsessed with team fights that actually you're not really advancing your cause. Jaina gets banned out, right? Morales, Jaina gets banned out, and I think that banning out Morales has got only one simple reason. Seems like we're left with Karazim as well as Malfurion once again. Rhaegar is the other option here, but Rhaegar is really just a teamfight centric hero. Great for late game. Towers of Doom, nah, it's not a late game. It's not a late game battleground, and you gotta make sure you have the early game pressure. Morales does provide that. Malfurion goes to Sage Gaming. Are they forcing Relics into Karazim? I think so. I think there is a high possibility that they have to play, the Wild Bird and the Bolt Monk, strategy, which means that it's almost impossible to heal the full team up. They also get a Sylvanas, my favorite hero for this battleground. Very important to note that Possession is a viable. No, I'm just kidding. Willing Arrow is definitely 100% viable. Possession, unfortunately, is still not ready. I played Possession on Towers of Doom in quick matches. I think it's absolutely fun. I think it's a great idea, but it needs to get better than that. Like, really. In a very competitive game like this, where Sage Gaming, they could effectively get 2 points today. Or rather, 3 points, my bad. Cannot do math. Whoever came up with this round robin idea is just really killing me. But we got possible 3 points for Sage. Relics on this side, they need to get a healer. They have to think about this. There's no more Alice left. There is, of course, there's still that very awesome Rhaegar. If they want to go for Bright Wings, also okay. But as you can see, just generally very weak healers. They're still available here for them. We got some very interesting last few picks available, actually. Uther, that's the other one. But the main reason why I don't really mention Uther these days is because Uther, this is the guy that does not have very high win rate. I mean, let's face it, 38% at BlizzCon, and right now, we gotta see, we really gotta see. NXS Championship, I think it was very, very close to below 50%. Thrall again. This is the exact same lineup, but they have Uther. Previously, Sage Gaming, they banned out Uther, but here they gave them the Uther. What does this mean? This means that they're ready to deal against an Uther. There's also the ETC that will help them with the mosh pit. But if Uther is not in the mix, which I think is not going to be the mix, there's a high chance that Thrall's going to be alive, Thrall's going to use Thundering, and then the whole team comes alive. We see Johanna getting picked up here. 2 crowd control warriors. They're not going for bruises. They're not going for frontline damage, which was really so good in the last game. It seems like they are going for the standard rotation, clearing the waves. If possible, pick up someone, Savannah split push, bottom lane or top lane. Probably going to be top lane because top lane's the off lane for this battleground. Relics, they're a lot more ready for a team fight. I think the Malfurion pick in the last game was the biggest problem for them. Generally, just lack of a burst heal. Uther is going to be able to provide that against Raynor. But then again, you can see this time around, Sage, they don't really have a burst damage dealer. What they do have is Sylvanas, which I would love to see Lost Soul instead of with a win on level 1, because this is a push map. We're talking about landing the Shadow Dagger as much as possible. Lost Soul reduces the cooldown to 8 seconds, okay? And stacking level 16, the Cold Embrace, that's going to apply a lot more vulnerability against Relics. And that's going to be enough. We're just talking about, stacked up, consistent damage, Raynor, firing the rifle away in the front line. It's good enough for me. Personally, I think that Johanna ETC pick may be a bit too greedy. The reason why I say that is because Johanna ETC, both of them, yeah, crowd control. Johanna is going to be able to clear the lanes very well, but what other use does she have outside of that? Yes, they got great lockdown, Malfurion, ETC, Johanna, but they don't have the burst damage. Up against burst healer, it's going to be very tough for me to call this one. Let me just say that I would favor Relics team composition for this one, okay? The reason for that is that they have Uther to back up Thrall right now. The half of the problem in the entire first game was Thrall going down too early. He did not overextend. His job is to get in your face. The healer's job is to make sure he stays alive. By picking a Malfurion there was just not going to work out. It's very interesting to see why Morales was getting banned against Relics. This is going to be interesting to see. Okay, so Towers of Doom. This is how this game is going to play out. Sage, they're going to go to the mid lane. Straight off the bat, they want to fight. They can pick a fight. I think that pre-level 4, they have the advantage because they got 2 warriors up against a solo warrior on the side of Relics. They'll be rotating lanes. Sylvanas will split off to the top lane. Probably going to apply a lot of pressure that way. But Towers of Doom is just such a new battleground that I don't think that is a tried and tested strategy. That, it's kind of obvious when you see an Epither and Sky Temple. But when you play Towers of Doom and you see Thrall, sometimes you go like, wait, what? Yeah, that's my feeling right here. The main reason why I'm giving 60% to Relics in terms of composition is because they also get a Mighty Gust and Sundering, and they get a lot of poke. Just a lot of poke. You're looking at Holy Radiance, you're looking at Stormbolt, you're looking at Gravity Lapse, and Thrall with Chain Lightning, Feldstab, Hammerang. Yeah, those are all good to cancel channeling. On the side of Sage Gaming, they have that Shadow Dagger, which is why Lost Soul is so important. Plus, Malfurion does provide extra mana. We're talking about innovate the trait for Malfurion. Johanna has got a Shield Glare. Raynor, probably not so good. Raynor ETC will not provide anything at all in the attempt of cancellation of a channeling. So Relics does have the ability to take it slow, apply poke damage against Sage, and stay safe. Okay, Towers of Doom. I'm not sure you can hear this in the background, but we're going into game, guys. Game number 2 right now. Yes, the score is absolutely correct. If you just joined us, it's 1-0 in favor for Sage Gaming. This is Babel, and you're watching the Singapore Spring Pro League for the Spring Championship. We're talking about a round-robin situation here, so if Sage wins this best of 2, yes, it's a best of 2. It's a bit weird, but, it's a point system, so that's fine. If Sage wins this next game, they get 3 points. If Relics wins this one, they tie up 1 point each team. Let's see how this is going to work out. Game number 2, we're going into Towers of Doom. It is just such a great day for me. Awesome Friday. I get to witness 2 of my favorite battlegrounds getting played out. Sky Temple is the old one. This is my new favorite battleground. And on the blue team, we got Sage Gaming. Towers of Doom it is. Zerkion will be playing as the Sylvanas. Nelra will be playing as the Malfurion. Revenant will be playing as the Warrior Johanna. We also got Derp on to the ETC. Hyrene will be playing as the Raynor. And on the red team is Relics. Julian will be playing as the Uther. Yu Yang onto the Meridian Trinity as the Kiltha. Zaze, your trusty Feldstab, last but not least, Mur will be playing as a Thrall. Seems like they did a bit of a role rotation. It has been confirmed. Mur will be playing the melee assassin. He used to be Zaze for a little bit. But right off the bat, you see this pressure coming out from Sage. And then Relics goes in, tries to pick up Revenant. He's dropping very, very low. But it's going to be okay. And I think it is actually Just good job on the side of Revenant to not get picked off. So close. He kind of overextended a little bit. They have a lot of lockdown. This is a very, very different composition. You remove Malfurion, include Uther, and kill Thus. I think they had a different damage dealer in the last game. Yes, they had an Abathur in the last game. So they have one extra major gun for themselves. And they also get a great healer. So they can take a fight in the early game. A lot more lockdown. Trinity's kill Thus. We'll see. Gravity Labs, missing a little bit. But yep, Derp managed to stay alive with the power slide. And on this side, at the bottom lane, you got Hyrene applying a lot of pressure against Zace. It's nice to see that we got this standard Hunter chasing after the bird situation there. Okay, looking at talents, yes, 100% yes. I sound like Simon Cowell right now, but yes, it is going to be Lost Soul. I cannot stress how important it is that teams realize with a win, it's not as good as Lost Soul. Much better in team fights level 16, much better in split push positions, and you just saw this right here. Sylvanas top lane, the split is going to happen, and Alta, this is a perfectly random Alta. It can be 2, it can be 1, but it's almost always going to be at the bottom side of this battleground. So we got about 10 seconds remaining. Rest of Relics with a bit of rotation down to the bottom area. Mur with a very nice skin there, and chain lightning connecting as well. Yun looking for the stun, it does connect. There goes the second route. Zace wants to really just pocket this one up. Will not get it. They have Sylvanas with the split push. And Revenant needs to be here for the shield glare. And this is why they're not so good at canceling the channels. 4 damage. You know what, guys? The technology is apparently there. There is no counter on the core's HP. Actually, there is just countering on the core HP. On the core HP, we decided to turn it off to make it a lot more exciting. So we don't know if the game's gonna end. How brilliant is that? So we got Revenant in the mid lane against Yu Yang. Top lane, we got a Sylvanas against Feldstedt right now. Bottom, it looks like it's a bit of a stalemate, but the first wave of damage will come out from Relics. And we're looking at a bit of a EXP lead, very, very slight EXP lead. The thing about this objective in this battleground is that it doesn't matter how much objectives you lose in the first few period, because you want to soak up that EXP. And the objective does not help you increase that EXP. It does not do damage to structures. It does damage directly to the core, which means that you don't get extra EXP regardless of what you think. And here, Sage apparently is very ready for this. Like I said, they don't have the ability to cancel altars, which is why they are kind of forced to take a team fight. Always when the altars are there, they got to take a team fight. Looking at the talent options right now, we got a bit of a time, so let's talk about it. Meanwhile, we'll keep the camera right here. We have Night Take Spawn, Amplify Healing, and also looking at Yu Yang, going in for a bit of a nice Siege Camp steal. Siege Camp is very important, make sure that they push as much as they can. They escort the Siege Camp. The other talents, very nice standard double-edged guitar and the Rolling Like a Stone, as well as Lost Soul and Venom for the Sylvanas. We get a Scouting Drone, as well as, well, it looks like the Rampant Growth, not going to be the Elune's Grace. We also see City Marksman into focus attack on the side of Sage. For Relics, it is going to be that standard Muradin Thunderclap build into a Lightning build for Thrall, as well as the Nether Win-Up for Kel'Thas. Protective Shield up as well. And hold that thought, a bit of a fight happening already. We get a channel up for Sage. It's going to even the battlefield and count a little bit. Each gets 1. That's going to be a total of 32 against 36. Still very fair game right now. And they just decided to have a bit of a stalemate just now. But you can see the damage has been dealt on the top lane. And for Relics, they haven't really pushed down a single structure yet against Sage. It's a slow victory for them. So back to talent options, it's going to be Winsure. Yu Yang going in for the lockdown, and oops, sorry, gonna remove that. Derp's gonna be okay. Yu Yang also pulling back. A lot of nice small little skirmishes, but we got that Winsure, like I was talking about, as well as the Piercing Bolt. Going to play here will also be the Fission Bomb. Clans for Uther, utility Uther coming to play. Secret Weapon, and Power Throw for the Feldstedt. Revolution Overdrive, full on damage coming up for the Rainer, and we also see. Look at this. I like this. Unstable Poison. At level 7 for the Sylvanas. Seems like we also have better momentum coming up here for Johanna, last but not least. For Malfurion, it is going to be the Enduring Growth. Rampant Growth in your Enduring Growth, we're talking about a lot of heals. Probably no Ice Block again. Let's see. Nelra will actually take the fall. Zay swings by to provide a little bit extra backup. But down goes the Malfurion so far. That is the first kill of this game. We're talking about 8 level each side. And right now it seems like structurally they're still kind of sound. There's been a specific strategy to play Sylvanas in this battleground. Some of the players would love to have rotations where she just picks off the front structures. If you do realize, in this battleground, the front structures do not respawn. So it's very important that you have those small little victories. You take down the front structures, there's no way that that's gonna come back. And even when you take back the fort or you take down the fort, it doesn't come out for you. So that doesn't happen. Altar spawning in just about 10 seconds. This is gonna be a very, very nice position for Relics. They're almost level 10. And Revenant, great defense against the pumpkin heads right there. Feldstad takes the fall. My bad, missed that action. Have to talk and watch at the same time. We also got Derb getting stunned out quickly by Julian. Nelra in position looking for the... well, not actually going to go in for the extra route there, but Yuyang is going to be okay. Nice off toss is looking to draw back out. Mer channeling up. But remember, Sage does not have the mechanic here to stop this. High reinforced to take a bit of damage from the Phoenix. And we also get Sage with yet another round of bombardment against the core from the mid altar. They're both level 10. We'll talk about heroics in just a bit. Don't think I can speed through them. Yuyang with a bit of a one-man stun. Yuyang dropping a bit of HP. Zerkion doing a bit of a damage. Shield glare coming from Revenant. That was not my T-Gas, guys. I know that it's looking a little bit weird, but that's not. There goes the Tranquility on 4. Sundering connects beautifully on most of them. Revenant still on the side. And there goes that extra Blessed Shield. And Trinity gonna drop as well. Trinity goes down. 2 men down on Cell Relics. And the fight swinging in favor for Sage. They have consistent damage. Great flank by Revenant. Blessed Shield going in, locking down the Kilthus. And they get all these horses right here. They get a lot of damage. 8 damage on the side here. Relics dropping so much HP. You know what, guys? We're actually manually counting the amount of damage to each team. And Zenden, better known as Zenbakuto, he's doing a great job confusing me with the HP on both sides. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's 32 on Sage, by the way. So 32 and 24. No, wait, 28. 32 and 28. I do a better job with my both eyes closed. And he has got like all the time to count the damage. Oh my god, this guy cannot count. Why do we have him do this? The technology. Man, guys, the technology is strong in this one. But we got Blessed Shield. We got Mosh Pit. As well as Willing Arrow, Tranquility, Hyperion. And here we go. And on the side here for Relics, it looks like it's going to be the Avatar, Thunder Ring, Phoenix, Divine Shield, and Mighty Gus. So what Sage is doing right here is that they don't care. They don't care if the towers get reclaimed. They are just going on what I would call a fort roulette. They're just going in, trading forts after fort. They get a bit of a nice lead here. 6 against 2 forts. Altar spawning in 30 seconds. Maybe they can pick a fight right here if they want to do that. Revenant with the Shield Glare, unfortunately, will not be enough to save this altar, but I think the top altar is going to be going in favor for them. So like I said, they don't really care about losing forts. We got a replay, but we only got 5 seconds before the next altar. I'm not going to spoil it for you guys unless I'm absolutely 100% sure that Sage is going to get this. Relics, they look like they don't want to pick this fight because they're only level 12. They're not level 13 yet. And, okay, let's go into the replay. It's 100%. There we go. So, instant replay. We're still channeling that one up. And the Sage cam going down as well. And look at Relics. They're making good use of this time that they have to get the top forward. Look at Sage as well. They get the bottom forward. This is the fort roulette. This is why I love this battleground. So much strategies. The timing. You have to be impeccable. It's flawless. It's so good that if you can plan out the timing for Towers of Doom, you can cook a steak. It's that good. You can be a fantastic steak specialist. I think Gordon Ramsay is going to be so proud of you. Here we go. We got that replay. Let's go into it. No action right now. Look at this fight. both level 10. I'd like to point to Trinity and his position. We were paying attention to this part. Look at Revenant. He is in the best possible spot. He did not join the team, but the Blessed Shield connecting. Zerkion swings by. A lot of nice damage from the Willing Arrow as well. And down goes already Murden, Kel'Thas. The fight has been won by Sage right at that point. And back into this game. Still trading forts. And we are now looking at the forts going back to the original state, where we got like 3 for the blue team on the left, 3 for the red team on the right. Bit of a nice catch out here against Revenant, but a lot of heals coming from Nelra. He does have Ice Block, so that's a very, very safe play. I like Ice Block a lot. Nice Mighty Gust. There goes the Willinger on the backline. Revenant a bit out of position, probably going to drop here. Will go down. Johanna is gone. Hyrene, the next target, and 2 men down on the site for Sage. 3 having to pull back. Tranquility already popped, by the way. Derp with a nice power slide. Maybe looking for a mosh pit to try and save the rest of his teammates. Zerkion's going to be okay. There goes the mosh pit. Is it going to be enough? Nelra pops the Ice Block. Seems like they're going to get maximum value. 4 men down on the side of Sage Gaming. Relics to buy themselves a bit of salvation here. So what they want to do is they want to take this fort on the top left, and they want to go to the bottom altas, get that value. It's still okay, guys. It doesn't matter for Sage because they have the core damage. It's already the mid game. This is where HP is very important. Towers are getting upgraded. Alta is going to spawn in 3 seconds thereabouts. The only towers that are still around here. Okay. That's going to be it. Zay's probably going to get this one. We got a replay. We're going to pull that one out. So the Mighty Gust saved them that fight for Relics. It's very clear. If you look at this point, Revenant was going against a warrior, which you, as a tank, it's not so good for you. A nice Divine Shield, didn't manage to call that one out, but Zace blew the healer away from the front line. And you got Thrall just doing a lot of damage to the front lines of Sage. We're back to real time, by the way, and we got a bit of a fight happening here immediately. Dirt dropping a lot of HP, Sundering going on as well as the Phoenix. No heals, no tranquility for the next few seconds. Sage gets punished for that. 5 versus 4, they should have never taken that fight. I mean, Rainer's not even with them. Probably gonna get another value here. Sylvanas will go down. They want to punish Yu Yang, but it's gonna get saved by the Divine Shield. And also gonna lose the mid fort for Sage. Right now, looks like it's 6 towers, 6 damage against 2 per altar. If Relics can somehow get the boss or the bottom lane. Okay, bottom lane is a bit of a far cry. You're looking at all of this. So, yeah. Okay, they will get the boss. That's gonna help them equalize the core HP a little bit. I think it's okay. Sage still losing a bit of ground back there was still fine. It's definitely not ideal, but yeah, 1 level down. And we got a bit of a time to talk about the Talon upgrades. It is going to be Burning Rage into Imposing Presence. Standard stuff, Echo Pedal for a little bit more damage, Showstopper for resistance there as well. As Cold Embrace, this is where I think Sylvanas is going to shine, really. Evasive Fire for more movement speed. Hardened Focus, Bullseye, Giant Killer. Standard stuff on the side here for Relics. We got a Thunder Strike, Stone Form. So full-on Thunderclap build coming to play. Standard one as well, Stone Form for more damage. Grace of Air with Tempest Fury, so it's the Wind Fury build. It's a bit of a Wind Fury slash Chain Lightning build. I play this build a lot myself as well. It's very effective. Arcane Barrier as well as Chain Bomb. And we got the Benediction into Shrink Ray. That's going to really counter the frontliners. And last but not least, a Giant Killer for Felstead as well. Okay, Alta. They're all here. Sage, they can take the fight early on. They want to lock down against Thrall, but there goes the Divine Shield. Very effective. Sundering splits the fight again. And Tranquility is not used. Unfortunately, Tranquility needs to get popped soon. There we go. It gets popped up a second too slow. They already lost 1 member. Can they still take the fight? It's going to be very hard. There goes the Ice Block. Revenant wants to go and make a bit of play. Zace with the Mighty Gust out of, dispositions them again, but they can win this fight right here. Zerkion, a nice Haunting Wave. Going to be a Trinity dropping very low in the backline. Nice heal from Julian. He's going to be okay. And 5 versus 4 still. There is still the mosh pit. They can still take this fight for Sage. But they don't have the ETC. And they cannot buy the time for the ETC to respawn. So unfortunately, they're going to take a bit of a beating there. Guys, in case you just tune in, there's absolutely no counters on the core HP. So we deliberately turned it off to induce excitement. For lack of better reason, but anyway, we don't have that, so we're gonna try and track as much as we can, which we're not tracking. So When it comes down to it, guys, we're just gonna scream, "It's a game!" That's awesome. So on the bright side, there's a lot more hype. On the downside, it's not the smartest of hype we could actually get. Siege Camp going towards Sage and Relics. They have the full level lead here, but it's gonna take a lot more than this. They will not be able to end this game. This is the beauty of Towers of Doom. If you have a strong early/mid game, it doesn't matter if you're losing out advantage in the late game as much. Why? Because it's hard. It's impossible to end this game. When even if you are like level 20, you cannot go to the core. So that allows the enemy team a bit of an opportunity to catch up. Derp connected with the Gravity Labs Trinity, a bit of out of position. They're playing very aggressively. Does the Arcane Barrier. That's why it's okay. The Mosh Pit connects on Trinity, but there goes the Mighty Gust as well as the Divine Shield. Derp's gonna be okay for now. There goes the Tranquility. Harry on the backline getting flanked, goes down. Willing Arrow comes out. Not the best of moment as well. And Hyperion not doing a lot of work. Man, Sage is falling apart, taking bad team fights after bad team fights like that. They don't have any heroics on both sides. Relics, gonna be able to pull back. Well, the real question here is, I know why they removed Morales, because they're not confident against Morales. They don't have enough of a dive potential. Morales is gonna always play safe in the backline. Uther is not so much. Looks like we got 5 against 3 in terms of bell towers right now. And in terms of altars, there's more than enough altar to share, but if Relics gets both, they will get back the lead. Can Sage pick up the bottom right forward? That is the question. Nelra with the scouting drone spots out 2 members from Relics swinging by. Relics getting really greedy right now. They will be able to get both the top left and right altars. That is a total of 10 damage. Derp gonna pull back. They're gonna try and save back this fort. Okay, it's gonna be even right now. Yu Yang pulling back Nelra. Nelra in a lot of trouble. Nice ice block to cancel out the damage from Sundering. Derp goes in. Trinity in a lot of trouble. Trinity goes down. 1 damage dealer is gone already on both sides, but that is the healer coming out for Sage. Not the damage dealer, my bad on that part. But level 20 against level 19 Sage, they managed to pick off Kel'Thas, but I don't think they can take this fight here. The Altar going again towards Relics. What an epic comeback for Relics. They're just doing a great job right now. It all fell apart when Sage was just not able to take the fight. And that happened post-level 10. You realize that post-level 10, Sage just did not have the best of positioning there. And you could say the Relics kind of threw the first fight, and we had that on instant replay, because Felstead was out of position, the backline was exposed to Revenant, and there's nothing he could do with Mighty Gust in any direction. But here on, as long as our good friend Zace plays safe, I think it's going to be okay for the team. Both sides level 20 right now. I have no idea how much HP Sage has got, but I'm assuming that if Relics gets 2 altar for the next tribute, no, not tribute, objective phase. So used to Riven Lord's voice that I thought it was Cursed Hollow. Anyway, if they get 2 altars, it will be game for Relics. Very, very tense moment right now for both teams. Sage having a 1-0. Not every day will Luby just still 1 game away from Relics. And Zekyon taking a bit of a beating here. Tricky position. They want to gut the boss, because the boss plus the altars will mean it's game over for Sage. This is where the pressure continues to mount. And Gravity Labs not connecting on the side of Kel'Thas. Altars spawning. Only 1. Absolutely random, I think. Derp going in. Nice lockdown against Trinity for a little bit, but no backup from their side. There goes the Bolt of the Storm. It's down for the next full minute. They can take a fight right now. Gotta be very careful. Julian probably wants to go in. That comes out. The Phoenix, they're fighting the choke point that they should not be fighting at. Revenant taking a lot of beating. Rest of the support line's not there yet. And a bit of a nice time from Yu Yang. There goes the Hammerang coming out. Derp goes in, locks down against Trinity. Probably going to be Divine Shield, but he uses the Twirl Blast and he changes position. Nelra goes in for the heals. Is it going to be enough? I think it may be. Muradin goes down. Trinity in a lot of bad position. Does not have Bolt of the Storm. This guy is not going to fly out of the screen right here. He's going to be okay, but he will be able to walk away like a boss. We also see the Altar going towards Relics at the end. Great plays by Mur. He did manage to pick that one up. So what, even if you win a fight, you cannot end this game. It's not possible. 3 against 5. But Sage, they were just so focused on Relics backline that they were not able to get that ulta. It's so close. One boss and that's it for Relics. They will win this game. Sage, what can they do? I mean, just get all the forts. Can they do that? Yeah, maybe. Not likely, but maybe. For Feldstad, what Feldstad's doing here is probably taking the top left fort. That's gonna be a huge trouble. What Sage can do also is if they can go and lock down. They should have killed Kel'Thas just now. I think it's a big mistake that they did not do that. But generally, it's just that this entire draft does not have enough cancel against ultas that are kind of forcing 100% of the fight every single time. Murden responding, Murden from the backline, lockdown against the healer. Tranquility is not up, he does not have it. Derp going in, but does not have the mosh pit for the next 30 seconds. This could be game. Derp will go down, and Sage will get torn apart pieces by pieces right here. Zerkion taking a fall, 4 men down. Fifth one's gonna be okay, and on the side for Relics, they go for the boss, they win this game. I thought it'd be exciting. We don't have counters, but I think it doesn't matter at the end of the day. We don't even have to count, then it's not needed. But yeah, boss is gonna end this game. Relics ties this one up. What a waste for Sage. They could have gotten the extra points for this league. We have the GG. There we go. So ladies and gentlemen, Relics wins game number 2 against Sage. They tie up the score, 1-1. What this means for both teams is that they will get 1 point out of the games today. Do note, guys, it's only a best of 2. There will not be a third game, and getting a tie is absolutely possible. Okay, so what we are looking at here is great damage from Trinity, 95,000, and 6 kills, 2 deaths. Still, overall, great plays by the entire team. Not giving them Morales and giving them Uther instead could be a problem. We'll see how that's going to work out for Sage in the upcoming games in this league. We got a replay, so let's go into it. This is the last fight, I think. You look at Yu Yang. He went into the tunnel. He came out from behind. It's always important to note when you're pushing the mid lane that the tunnel is a viable shortcut for your enemy to catch up from the back line. If it's a warrior, it's a huge problem. Derp does not have Mosh Pit. They don't have the heroics. They shouldn't have taken a fight. They should have just known that Murden was going to respawn. I think it's still just the teething phase right here, that the team is not really used to this battleground, and they picked this battleground. So we'll see. Okay, we have a next series that's coming right up. Right now, the game is looking like it's a 1-1. So 1 point each side. We still have 2 more teams in this SG Pro League, and it's looking like Power of Belief up against Resurgence. That's right up at 9 p.m., and that's getting queued up right now. We have the draft coming up in just a few minutes. This is back-to-back action. I am Babel. If you enjoy the custom coverage, give me a like on my Facebook and Twitter. Follow me there. Love to have conversations with you guys all the time. That said, do follow this channel for all of the SCA coverages, not just for Singapore, but for Malaysia, Philippines, and Thailand as well. We're going to have all of the country finals on this channel, so stay tuned for that. We'll be back shortly, so sit tight, stay tuned, and don't go anywhere. We'll be back. And again, Squad the Bush Party, happy birthday, Charming. You're in a lot of trouble right now. Void Prison connects on the back line, but there is no damage coming in. 7-star strike, not effective. A lot of damage against Rainer. Rainer does go down. The dropship being used to keep Morales safe. He's going to be okay. And